Hi everyone! Happy Fleecimals Friday. I'm Michelle, and this is our studio tour. You've seen some glimpses of my studio in different videos, but come on in to see my workspace. So this studio I've had for a couple of years now, and it has definitely changed a few times, moved things around, but I think how I have it now is pretty set and finalized with exactly how I like it. Almost everything has a place in my room, including the plushies that I make, the craft materials that I use, and more. So let's get started. The first thing I did was take off the door to my closet, and I added these hanging shelves. Before these shelves, I had larger ones, two hanging side by side that were large 6 cubes, but I found that with all of my small stuffed animals, I wasn't able to have as much separation as I liked, and I have lots of different colors and I like to keep them all in their own rows, and these are really great for when we go to events and conventions because we can actually take these full shelves off, put them in a bin and bring it with us, and they stay organized, which is really handy. Right next door is the temporary spot for the So Tidy, which was one of our most recent videos. This holds a lot of my sewing essentials, especially for the road. So check out that video to see all of that. And obviously, if I'm making stuffed animals, the number one thing that I have in this room is fabric. So I buy fabric mostly in half-yard increments because it's easiest to cut for me. So everything that is a half-yard or larger goes into this bookshelf here. It is organized mostly by colors and textures and patterns as well. And this isn't even close to all of the fabric that I have. Like I said, this is just the bigger pieces. One of my favorite things, my giant ironing board. I like to quilt and I make t-shirts as well, and this allows me to have a lot more room when I'm ironing things. I have my 2 Cricut presses. I was able to actually make this out of a table that I already had. It was just a drawing table, and I made the ironing board on top with a little skirt, and this hides all of my large projects that I do, any large scale drawings from college, different rolls of paper, etc. They all fit neatly underneath here. Well, neatly is a relative term, hence the skirt. In the bottom cabinets, I do have more event storage. This is our t-shirt bag as well as our tablecloths. I have lots of little tickets. These are actually used for when people customize their plushies at events. I'm able to give them a matching ticket so everything is nicely organized, and when they come and pick it up, they hand me that ticket and get their own plushie back. Right next to the ironing board is a full shelf that has our shipping supplies, everything we need to pack up your plushie orders, which you can see in our most recent video above. And I have these gray bins. These are really handy. I was gifted a bunch of them, and they are just perfect size for holding everything I need. I like things separated and organized, so these were a great solution for me. Over here I have a lot of the materials and different things that I use a lot, which is like tape, glue, we have different tools, some tagging, just everything is separated so I can easily find them and put them away when I'm done with them. So since this room is a little smaller, I have to use every square inch that I possibly can. So on top of the bookshelf, I have this buckling box, because it's very full, of more fabric. So the pieces that are in here are anything that is within a 20 by 20 inch square. It's great to be able to separate those from what I normally cut via laser cutter, because if I just need one plushie, I just need a certain amount, I can come over here and see what I have without having to cut apart a larger sheet. I also have a dress form, which I use for pattern making and for alterations, and it's spotting our brand new Seal of Approval t-shirt, which you can get at Fleecimals.com. she looks very nice in it. Another thing I really love in my studio is I try to surround it with things that either inspire me or bring me a lot of joy and happiness, i.e. this bright teal shelf. It is painted my favorite color, but it also has a lot of different knickknacks that I've collected over the years, including my tiny sewing machine, some projects that I designed in college, and a lot of different plushies and figurines from other creators that I support. And it's great to be able to not only showcase them, but be able to see them while I'm working, and it just brings a little smile to my face. I've also got my very fancy gel pen collection, which is all organized by color, but that's just for fun. This is our original printer that I've used, but I was gifted a new one, so this is going to be in the testing phases for us.
Still haven't figured out how it works just yet.
Nope, but we'll get to that. This dresser is actually a really nice piece. It's a hand-me-down. I actually used to use it for my clothes. Before that, it was my aunt's, and before that, it was my dad's when he was a kid. So it's really cool to be able to still use it. It's still got like flower decals on it. But this is where I store all of my pattern pieces that are already cut. Again, usually in rainbow order because it's easier to find. But just as you go down, it's got more and more fabric inside. But I will keep that to myself.
And then more fabric.
And more fabric.
If that wall wasn't enough, there's a whole nother shelf.
Listen, these are my neutrals. These are anything that's black, brown, gray, tan, brown, or no, I said brown, black. These are all my neutrals. It's helpful to have them separate from the colors and patterns just because I use them for more plushies, more projects, so it's good to have them in their own section. I've also have this overflowing section of personal projects, like Noah's stuff that I haven't finished yet.
Yeah.
So I'll get to that. And then giant eggs on the bottom. Right next to our neutral fabric shelf is this giant box of fiber fill. This is what I use to stuff all of my plushies, including that guy right there. A lot of people like to pop it open and let the fiber fill just overflow, but since I make little tiny things, I find it easier to cut a little hole in it, and then I made this fabric wrap to kind of decorate it, and then I can pull out the fill when I need it. Above that is my Ouchy bin. This holds all of the Ouchies for different events and just keeps them organized, as well as some of the larger items. And above that, I keep our accessories bin. This has all of our accessories organized by type. So these are all of our bows. We've also got little hats and little acrylic swords, mustaches, different outfits. So when people come to an event, they can pick out a plushie and then pick out accessories. And what's really fun is I'll sew it on as they walk around to the event. So then they come back and they get to have a custom plushie. So that's what I use those tickets from earlier for. Making our way to this side of the room, we have my giant 2-foot by 3-foot cutting table. One of the benefits of having a large cutting table right next to my desk is I can put my Cricut in the middle, cut the fabric I need to, stick it on a mat, and put it right into the Cricut to cut. And we do have some videos on how we use our Cricut, so again, check those out. I also got these pegboard shelves from my parents. They screw right into the wall, and it's really great because you can just add your attachments directly to the sides, and now I can grab my tools that I need and immediately cut. This is also where I usually pack plushies. So like I said in the packing video, you can see we pull out these bins and use our tape and our scale to measure everything out. I also made this fun little, it's not a cork board, it's actually made of foam, so that way I can pin up some of my favorite little things that I've either collected or drawn or made. Here is our big heavy suitcase. This holds all of our manta rays that we take. It is so heavy. We probably pack around 50 to 75 different manta rays every time we leave, and they're about 2 pounds or a little bit more per, so I'm very thankful to have somebody that will always carry the bag or use the wheels. I have ribbons above that. This is not the best way to organize ribbons, but it is a good temporary solution. If you have any ideas that would be better, definitely leave them for me below because I could use them. I've got a photo paper that I use just as a backdrop when I take product photos. Again, there's a video on how I do that. And right in front of that is my grabber. This is very helpful when I want to move or adjust a plushie on one of my shelves, like this little squid. So all of these shelves are full of plushies that are the first of their kind. They're essentially the prototypes, and I like to keep them for myself. None of them ever turn out exactly like the very first one. I've also got my logo octopi up there. Those are from the very first batch that I ever made. If you want to know how I made these, you can actually check out our very first YouTube video and learn to make them yourself. Under my desk, I have lots and lots of storage bins. Again, with more fabric. These are anything that is pretty small that I can't put in the 20 by 20 bin. These are helpful if I just need one small pattern piece, and I keep them organized not only by type, but color and pattern. And I've also got some felt and some other sewing accessories and tools. These two bins have more pattern cut pieces, the manta rays and the ouchies, because I sew them so often. It's just easier to have them right next to me. And then I've also got just my everyday office supplies, and in this little drawer I have a bunch of sewing machine essentials, which, let's go up to the top of the desk and talk about the sewing machines. Arguably one of the most important parts of this studio is my desk. And the place that I'm going to be in the most is actually the chair. So Noah would know and can contest to, I had very high expectations for a desk chair. It was very important to me that it was extra luxe. I could sit back and relax, but most importantly, if I need to, I can cross my legs and sit in the chair and still have enough room. Because sometimes I need a little break. So I got this nice big executive chair, and it's probably one of the best decisions I made. I've got this very large corner desk with my main sewing machine and my serging machine behind that. I have a nice pull-out that I can work on and move pieces back and forth. Recently I've been making little cacti, so these just need a little bit sewn up and they'll be ready to go. I've also got above my desk this little shelf. This holds all of my eyes for my plushies, my fabric tags, a lighter and soap. If you know what those are for, you know. I've got a TV, obviously. I love to listen to either podcasts or different TV shows as I sew. On the wall, directly in front of my sewing machine, are all of my spools. I have them hung up for really easy access, and obviously, again, in color order. If you're not organizing your thread in color order, I don't know if I can do that. Next to the spools is a framed newspaper clipping. We were honored to be in our local newspaper last year for small businesses for Black Friday, so I keep that up as an inspiration to keep on going and see what else we can create this year. Speaking of inspiration, I also have a large poster of a drawing from Adam Savage. It was a gift from my father. Adam Savage was a big inspiration in my career. I went to college for industrial design because of him, so it's really nice to be able to have a little touch of him in my creative space. Obviously, the main reason I have this studio is to house this beautiful sewing machine, and that's it. That's the end of the tour. Thank you so much for coming. No, in all seriousness, I have this brother sewing machine. I've always had brothers, and they are just amazing machines. This is the SE600. It is both an embroidery and sewing machine. It's really great for fun projects, and I'm just dabbling in the embroidery, so hopefully that will ensue some fun and creative ideas soon. Behind this machine is my lock stitch machine. It's a serger, also from Brother. These are helpful for sewing any kind of stretchy fabric as well as our scrunchies. Behind the serger is a spool holder. It's really great to be able to buy larger spools because I sew so much. It was a gift from a charity event. Every seamstress was able to take one home after they had finished sewing for the day, so that was a really nice gift to have. We hope you loved seeing our creative space in our studio tour. If you have any questions or have some advice, definitely leave them in the comment section below. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe and share with a family or friend that you think will enjoy it. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!